Today, we look at one unique and deadly response against the queen's pawn game, d4. This week, I'm still a fan of pawn to c6, because this might transpose back to the caro-kann, one of my favorite openings to play against white. In fact, what I like doing nowadays is to play s6 first, delaying the move pawn to d5, so that if knight c3, that's when I go pawn to d5. At least I know I won't have to face the pain of attack. But anyway, this video is about the queen's pawn game, where you will see most of your opponents playing pawn to c4 on the second move. Now trust me, especially in Blitz and bullet chess, you will be winning a free pawn very early in the opening stage, after playing this weird looking move pawn to b5, kind of the delayed polish. If you think about it, because most people in bullet chess love pre-moving knight f3 by this time, after which you will be taking like that. And if pawn to e3 or e4, you just go d5, that's it. You just have a pawn. That's what will be happening in your online games. But anyway, this is not the main idea of playing pawn to b5. Remember, this is called the queen's pawn game. So the approach we are taking is finishing the battle on the queen side first with the pawns before shifting our attention to the king side. For example, if pawn takes happens, we just want to take back like this. And this time, if pawn to e4, now we go bishop b7, giving up our useless flank pawn for an important central pawn. Central pawns are more powerful and important. I covered this like in my yesterday's video, or the video that I published 2 days ago. You can check on my channel. Most of your opponents are going to be playing something like pawn to f3 in this position. They don't want to lose their e pawn. And now this is no longer the queen's pawn game that you fear all the time. You can play s6 if you want, or even pawn to b4. In fact, from today onwards, let b4 be your fifth move to prevent knight c3. I mean, even if they play bishop d2, you can just go pawn to e6. They are just helping you develop the pieces. Queen b3 is a sheer waste of time in an effort to get back their pawn, because we can go queen b6 followed by a5 if we want. Sometimes after taking on b5 and pawn to e4, you know what? You can flex a little bit by going knight f6. There's a little trap that happens here. Once again, with knight f6, you are still attacking the e4 pawn. So white won't take. I mean, they'll lose a more precious pawn on e4. So they love playing pawn to e5 here. Now this is when you go knight d5. And it looks like white can freely take this pawn on b5. Whoops. Now you have queen a5 check, and whether they like it or not, they are going to lose this light squared bishop. This is just one simple trap that is in this variation, you guys. Oh, by the way, you're looking at knight c3. We can simply take, attacking the queen and also the bishop. If pawn takes, that's when we win back that piece. Anyway, so after pawn to e4, knight f6 is another good try. In fact, I love this more than bishop b7 because it's less predictable, lack of a better word. Pawn to e5, knight d5. They'll still not take the b5 pawn. They'll play moves like knight f3, if I guess. Then this is when you can continue, play bishop b7. Again, not worrying much about your b pawn. You know they can't take due to queen a5. If they play knight c3 this time, that's when you want to play s6 or even pawn to b4. Once again, pawn to b4 is always a good move. If knight takes, you just take back, bishop d3, pawn to e6, bishop e7, castle short, and that. Anyway, but I should mention to say, not everyone takes on b5 again. Some of your opponents will be playing pawn to e3 here, asking you to take so that you may help them develop their minor piece. You know what? You can do this. Take. After that, that's when you go d5. Now, this is a very comfortable pawn structure, as you can tell. Maybe you might even want to transpose to the reversed stone wall, pawn to e6, knight f6, bishop d6, and castle short. But anyway, you also have an option to play knight f6 first, waiting for knight f3 to happen so that you pin that knight like this. Then play the semi-Slav with bishop d6, knight b d7 later on, and that. Ensure that you do not lose your c pawn in the near future. Sometimes after c6, not everyone will play pawn to c4. Some people love starting with knight f3 followed by bishop f4. Well, if this happens, once again, you can stick to your plan. First go pawn to b5 or d5. It's not much of a stretch. If pawn to e4 comes, you can even switch and play pawn to d6 here. Like seriously, this is also playable. I'll just stick to your plan. S6. I love this pawn structure, you guys. So next you want to play d5. If they play d5 themselves, just go knight f6. That's what I said in my other video. There's no pawn to e5 due to knight takes. If this happens, you go knight takes c6, because e5 will be met with knight g4, queen c7, and bishop g7 in the near future. So you're going to get back that pawn either ways. Enough of the talking. Why can't I play 1 or 2 games on Lichess? Let's see how this will go. And if I may remind you, this is still my birthday month and all of my courses are on 30% discount. So just use the code KaspaChess30 at checkout on Patreon. Links and codes are in the description and in the comments down below. And that is how you support this channel, by the way, not through donations. All right, let's go pawn to c6. This is what I'm talking about. Are we going to take? By the way, I'm playing against a 25-34 rated player. This is a 3+2 casual blitz match. You can see how my opponent has taken so long to respond because this is alien to them. Now this kind of transposes back to the Polish defense that I showed you in the intro. If pawn to e4, I have either bishop b7 or my favorite knight f6. That may transpose the game back to the O'Sullivan gambit structure. Pawn to e3. So still I can play bishop b7 if you think about it. Because if bishop takes, I have bishop takes g2. That's why my opponent has played knight f3. And I've always been talking about this move, you guys, on move number 5. If you don't know what to do, you can play pawn to b4. s6 is also a good option, but pawn to b4 takes away the place or the square for the white knight, the queen's knight. So it'll be very difficult for my opponent to develop their queen's knight. They have to do this somehow. So far so good. Who is this guy? 25-34 by rating. Oh, their Blitz rating is 2801, so I need to take them so serious. Technically, I'm playing against a 2800 rated player. Whenever you see any attack or whenever you encounter any attack on your pawn on b4, just go pawn to e6. You better take on b4 with your bishop. That's the idea. This is a very safe opening to play even against super strong opponents, even in real, OTB classical games. You will never go wrong. Queen b3, I talked about this move. Again, I have so many things I can do. And this is one thing I love about this improved Polish, as I'm calling it for now. I can play a5 if I want and hold on to my pawn for good. Let me do that. Still, white can't develop their queen's knight normally as they do. Now I can take back with my bishop with check. Bishop d2, how about this knight? I can take it if I want, like right now, and mess up my opponent's pawn structure. So let's do that. This is no longer the normal queen's pawn game, if you think about it. And then I'll develop my queen's knight on c6. If bishop takes, I'll be glad to take back with my knight. Easy peasy. In fact, I can even take on d2 next. But taking on d2 will kind of help white to develop the knight, so that won't be a wise decision. Maybe let me go knight c6. If d5, that's when I'll take and put my knight on b4. Yeah, something like that. So let me do this. As Eagles Manov says, to take is a mistake. You don't always need to, take your opponent's loose pieces. At times, you will just be helping them to develop. And that's one thing you don't want to do. Now it makes sense for me to play rook b8, staying out of danger, moving out of the pins, and also creating another threat of capturing on d2, since I'm indirectly eyeballing the queen on b3. And my opponent is now under 20 seconds. Yeah, so bishop takes. Guess I can take back with a knight. Let's try that. Oh no, there's no rook takes. Okay, castle shot. Guess I can play knight f6 now, just developing normally. Or maybe I should have played knight e7. But anyway, just want to castle. Yeah, so just castle. Oh, wait a second. There's queen takes. So first, knight c6. This move also paves the way for the rook. Yeah, I'll take on b2 anyway. Let me remove this. My opponent is running low on time. Let's do this. Take on b2. I think I can play queen b8 now. Oh, my pawn is hanging. This isn't good. Let's do this. Want to take back with tempo. Attack the queen, right? This looks good. Oh, damn it. Thanks to my knight. Thought my opponent was going to play something like pawn to e4. f5, there's a little trick in this position, I guess. I can play pawn to e5. I mean, white couldn't take, obviously. Oh, let's attack. A window. Let's attack. Capture a free pawn. The knight is under attack. Wait a second. How about this? Oh, damn it. Okay, this is done. Oh, damn it, no. Finally, I just won a game, a beautiful game against a 28-0-1 rated opponent. Yeah, that's their bullet rating, as you can see. So this guy is a 25-34 rated player in Blitz. Let me check who I was playing against. The guy has no name. Why? And this is a new account. Let's hope I wasn't playing against a cheater. Anyway, this account was opened on June 6th. Could this be a streamer or something? Anyway, this oftentimes transposes back to the d4 opening. Let me start with c6. Again, it's not clear what white wants to do, so s6. Yep, so you see what I was talking about. Now we are back to the d4 opening, where I can take back with my c pawn. Then bishop b7, knight f6, pawn to e6, bishop e7. Oh, okay. Thought I was going to lose some material there, but this is not the ideal situation. Again, pawn to b4, you can see that. This is a bullet match, by the way. Some serious stuff going on. I'm attacking the dark square bishop now. Let's take that and attack what next? Attack the knight. I have 29 seconds. I need to be very fast. I can take, I guess. Yep, let me take. Oh, did I just hang? Okay, let me do this. Oh, wait a second. This guy. I almost lost a piece. I mean, knight. So now I can do this. Oh no, this is not good. I'm losing something here, I guess. No. Yes. I have 7 seconds, but I'm doing great. I just need to maintain this diagonal. Maybe I can take on f2. Like this. Oh! What happened? I just won on time! Why? How? Oh, okay, I see. Looks like my opponent ran out of moves. Let me ask Stockfish to see what it thinks. Oh, damn it! Oh, damn it! I was losing. Why? The thing is, white had pawn to c7, and I was going to lose my bishop. I thought I was clever. But I mean, these are tactics that are very difficult to spot in bullet, you guys. It was hardly easy for my opponent to make progress from here. But if not for this move, I guess I was winning. You can see just one move before. Stockfish says this was dead equal. I was supposed to take with the bishop, not taking with the king. And maybe before that, yeah, this was supposed to be a draw according to Stockfish, and I mean, it was just a dead equal game. At human level, this is something that white can't defend. But anyway, different colored bishops, what do you expect? This was supposed to be a draw. Ah, damn it. Anyway, that still counts. A win is a win. Now, go and check out 3 of my new courses on my website, KaspaChess.com, that I highly recommend you get right now. The newly updated Semislav defense against d4, the knight c6 Nimzowitsch defense, and the mighty e5 Paris defense, which is my best selling course till this date. Chess is a school on its own, and you will just need to show some efforts to unlock some secrets that content creators don't show on YouTube. And that's how you support this channel, by the way.